The question of this video is, why are you so comfortable working for someone else? Because a lot of you guys, right, you're working 9-to-5 job, you're working for someone else, you're taking orders, you get paid very little a month, and then you struggle to pay bills and you struggle to survive. So my question to you guys who are watching this video, because you've clicked on this video because you are working a 9-to-5, you are working for someone else. So the question is, why are you so comfortable working for someone else? Why are you so comfortable being a slave? Literally ask yourself, why are you so comfortable to follow another man's orders? Do you not think that this is a bit like being a slave? Do you not feel that, you have to do what the boss says? Does that not hurt you? Does that not affect you? Because a lot of people, it actually doesn't, right? They're so comfortable. In fact, they're trying to move up so they can follow higher people's orders, which is crazy when you think about it. You're trying to follow orders from people in higher up positions so you can move higher up in this sort of 9-to-5 pyramid or whatever you want to call it. A lot of you guys want to move up higher and higher so you can take orders from, more important people. Doesn't that affect you? Doesn't that make you feel some type of way? Because I know it did for me. Now, just before I continue with the video, I'm going to explain who I am if you're new watching this. So my name's Alim and I used to work a 9-to-5 job back in the UK, and literally I decided to quit my job and move to Dubai. I had no savings, I had no job lined up, I just took the biggest risk of my life and I moved to Dubai. 10 months later, I now own my own 6-figure coaching business, which is earning me well over $100,000 a year. So if you're wondering what my coaching program is, essentially I help 9-to-5 workers scale to 10K a month within 3 months of working with me. And the way I do that is by helping you set up your own info business where you can sell your skills and knowledge to high ticket clients. Now, if this does sound of interest to you, you can either DM me on Instagram or you can click the link in the description and book in a call with me. And what we'll do is we'll jump on a call and I'll see if we're a good fit to work together. But yeah, back to the video, right? You're working a 9-to-5, you're working for someone else. You've got to take orders. You've got to take breaks when they tell you. You can only go to the toilet when they tell you in a lot of jobs. You can't do what you want. You can't work from home. I know some places allow you to, but generally you can't work from home. You can't travel when you want to. Even small things like taking leave, taking holiday, you've got to ask your boss, they've got to sign it off, and then only then you can take some days off. And even then you only get like 30 days a year where you can actually take holidays. 30 days in a year to be off, and the rest of the days you've got to be at work. You've got to clock in when they tell you to. You've got to leave when they tell you to. You've got to take lunch when they tell you to. Doesn't that affect you? Doesn't that make you think that, yeah, I don't really want to do this? Doesn't that make you feel like a slave? Because I know it made me feel like a slave when I used to work my 9-to-5 job, and I used to hate every minute of it, where I had to follow orders. I've worked a lot of jobs, right? I've worked many different types of jobs, and some jobs were better than the others, but a lot of them I was micromanaged so much. Oh, you took 1 minute extra lunch, so we're going to give you like a warning or whatever. Looking back, you know how ridiculous that sounds? I took 1 minute extra lunch and you're going to penalize me? But the times where I had to stay behind for a few more minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, you didn't really have a problem then. In fact, you didn't even want to compensate me that time, because if I asked for it, you'd be like, oh, it's only 10 minutes, it's only 15 minutes. Ridiculous, man. This is what I mean, right? We all should strive to leave our 9-to-5 job. A lot of you guys are working a 9-to-5 job, being comfortable, thinking, something's going to change. One day I'm randomly going to become rich. I'm going to win the lottery, or I don't know what you guys think, right? But you randomly think somehow you're just going to become rich. You don't have to put any hard work. As long as you keep working your 9-to-5 job, maybe you might get a better job, you make more money, etc. You can make better investments and all that kind of stuff. Even if you make a lot of money from your 9-to-5 job, you will never ever become rich. And let me explain why. Because if your freedom is compromised, that means that you're still tied on a chain to that company, which means that you have to do what that company says. And if you don't, you will lose your source of income. But if you make money for yourself, there is no chain. The chain is attached to yourself, which means you are now free to do whatever you want. I'll give you guys an example, right? So obviously I used to work a 9-to-5 job, so I know what it's like. I'm not making this video like, oh, I've never worked a 9-to-5 job. I've worked a lot of 9-to-5 jobs and I used to hate all of them, right? No freedom, nothing like that. But when I started working for myself, when I moved to Dubai, freedom was crazy, right? Like it's a different feeling. And I was in a 9-to-5 mindset, right? Like even when I was working on my online business, I'm semi-expecting someone to tell me what to do. You have to figure things out yourself, you have to do things yourself, you have to take initiative, all that kind of stuff, right? Being your own boss teaches you a lot of things. So yeah, I was doing that, and worked on myself and worked on my company, scaled it up, and now I make over 100K a year. So now my business is doing really well. And the only reason I was able to do that is because I took a risk. Now I'm not saying you guys should just randomly take risks. You got to take some sort of calculated risk. I personally didn't. I took a massive risk. I sold my car, I had no savings, and I just quit my job. I thought, worst case, what's going to happen, right? I'll move to Dubai, in the 3 months, maybe I might not get a job, or I might not make my business work. Worst case scenario, I'll go back. And that's what I did. I just put my full focus into my online business because I wasn't getting any jobs. I tried to apply for jobs. I just wasn't getting any responses or any interviews. And the interviews that I did get, I didn't get selected for in the end. So I thought, you know what, let me just go all in on my online business. And yeah, 10 months later, I now make 6 figures a year on my online business, which is crazy, right? right? Because now I make more in a week than I did in like 3-4 months of working in a 9-to-5 job, all because I took a risk. And a lot of you guys are scared to take risk, right? You're scared to take risk. You're so comfortable working a 9-to-5 job. You're so comfortable taking orders. Like, I don't understand that. How can you be so comfortable taking orders? Honestly, I used to work a 9-to-5 job, right? And I used to look on my phone. I used to see people 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, very, very young. You can call them kids, right? Out here in Dubai, making crazy amounts of money a month, right? Making 6 figures a year. Some people making 6 figures a month. You know, they're making crazy amounts of money. And I used to sit there thinking, you know, how can these guys do it? Like, I'm here trading my time for money, working for someone else, and I didn't know how to escape, right? I was just sitting there like, okay, there's got to be a way. And I knew from there, like, I'm not going to be here for long. But even back then, I was working on my online business, right? I was going hard. I was working day and night. I was literally like, I had no sleep. There were times where I was like going to work to do a 12-hour shift on like 1 hour sleep. Worst feeling. It was very bad. I was still working on something. I didn't just sit there wishing like a lot of you guys are doing, right? But then, yeah, I thought, you know what? What's the worst that can happen? Let me take a risk. So I had no savings. I did invest in a mentor. So essentially I had no savings. The mentor helped me a lot. My mentor, I still work with him today. And essentially because of my mentor's guidance, I'm able to make good money online. And a lot of you guys do things blindly, right? And I did so as well. So I'm not saying this from a point of, you know, I did this as well. I used to do things by myself, thinking I'll just figure it out. It's like you do things blindly. And what's going to happen is, yeah, you're going to make mistakes, you'll figure it out, etc. But that's just going to cost you time. And time is money at the end of the day. When you work with a mentor, he's going to sort of guide you through the mistakes that he made so that you don't make the same mistake. Fast track your way to making money. And I'm not talking about any physical business here. You should be making money online. Yes, physical businesses are good as well, depending on what it is. But generally, you should look at a service-based business that you make money online with. Because that's what I did. And because I can make money online, I can travel wherever I want. I can go to Saudi. I can go to Qatar tomorrow. I can go back to the UK. You know, my money is made through my laptop. That's all I'm shackled to, you can say. So wherever I go, I just take my laptop and I can make money. Whereas a lot of you guys can't do that, right? You have to take leave. You've got to ask your boss, can I have some time off? So yeah, as I said with this video, right? Why are you so comfortable working for somewhere else? If you knew that you might have a skill or knowledge that you can sell to, you know, high ticket clients and make, let's say 20K a month, and you're probably stressing in your 9-to-5 job, right? And I'm not saying entrepreneur, there's no stress. In fact, there is more stress being an entrepreneur. But at least when you're an entrepreneur, yes, you got more stress, you'll be making more money and you get to work where you want. You know, at times I work near the Burj Khalifa, right? You've got a fantastic view. I'm in a coffee shop. I order some food, order some drinks, sit there, work on my laptop, and then I've got amazing views. And then when I look at these views, I'm even more motivated. I'm like, okay, cool. This is amazing. Like, I'm in Dubai, I'm doing quite well for myself. You know, this shows me that even more is possible. Because here in Dubai, I'm a very small fish. There are people making some crazy money here in Dubai. So I need to work harder. I need to put more effort in. And when I see stuff like that, tall buildings, I see how much money is around me, you know, I just got to work harder. So I put myself in that position, right? I've put myself in that position to do that. But you guys can't be comfortable, man. Honestly, you've got to find a way to quit your 9-to-5 job. Where I just took the risk and said, it. Or you can start saving some money and then start quitting your 9-to-5 job and then jumping straight into the deep end. Or the alternative route, which is the best route in my opinion, which is to work your 9-to-5 job and then start a side hustle. That way, at least you're getting some consistent amount of income. And then on your days off and on the days you come home from work, you can work on your online business. And in fact, that's what a lot of my clients do as well. So what type of business should you do? Firstly, it should be an online business. And secondly, in my opinion, it should be a coaching business. Because I've done drop shipping, I've done affiliate marketing, I've done YouTube sponsorships, I've tried to make money through TikTok, all of that kind of stuff, right? I've made money online through so many different ways. And the best way, in my opinion, is by running your own coaching business. Now, I run my own coaching business. And essentially what I do is I help 9-to-5ers make 10K a month within 3 months of working with me. And the way I do that is by helping you set up your own coaching business where you can sell your skills and knowledge to high ticket clients. So again, if this is something you're interested in, you can either DM me on Instagram or you can book in a call with me by clicking the link in the description. Alternatively, you guys can set this coaching business up yourself. Now, I will tell you for free that setting it up by yourself with no helping hand and learning along the way is going to cost you a lot of time. And trust me, if you do this incorrectly, it could actually detriment your business going forward. So you should always get help when you're doing this. Now, whether it's from me or whether it's from someone else, don't be afraid to invest in yourself, because a lot of you guys will spend money on cars, or you'll spend money on expensive designer clothes, you'll spend money on expensive dinners, you'll spend money on expensive crap, but you won't spend money to invest in yourself. And that's what's holding a lot of you guys back, right? You're comfortable working for someone else, you're getting that low salary, and then you spend that on crap, and then you think your life's going to change, and then you get miserable, right? A lot of you guys work a 9-to-5. Sunday evening hits, you feel sad, you feel depressed, and you're like, shit, man, I've got to go work tomorrow, I've got to sleep early, I've got to wake up early because my boss told me I need to be in at a certain time. You know, life as an entrepreneur, what it's like, you get to wake up when you want, you get to do things when you want. Of course, you still have work to do, but imagine being able to work for yourself and work where you want, when you want, how you want. A lot of you guys don't have that freedom. You're stuck in your 9-to-5 job. You're shackled to your 9-to-5 job. And the worst part about all of that is that you're so comfortable. How can you be comfortable comfortable just shackled to your desk or shackled in your 9-to-5 job. I don't understand it. A lot of you really got to get out of this 9-to-5 mindset. Trust me, it is holding you back. And if you really understand how the world works, it's because of schooling system, university, and then you go to your 9-to-5 job. School and university sort of prep you becoming a factory worker as a 9-to-5 slave. That's why you don't want to escape, because you're so comfortable, because you've been told your whole life that to be successful you need to go to university and then work a 9-to-5 job and pay off a debt. And that's another thing, right? A lot of you guys are so comfortable to pay $9,000 a year for university, but you won't spend like a quarter or half of that into investing in yourself so you can start an online business. Do you know how crazy that is? There are coaching programs that are literally like $4,000 or $5,000 or $3,000, but you won't invest in that. You'll rather invest in university, $9,000 a year, and they don't teach you nothing. And I know this because I've been to university, and my reasons for going to university were completely different, because I just did it for my parents. I knew that wasn't going to make me successful. But you spend $9,000 a year, then you get a job that pays you 30, 40K a year, and then you've got to pay off that student loan. So do you know how crazy that is? That's insane to me. You guys will rather do that than invest in yourselves and actually start an online business, because that online business will make you $10,000, $20,000 a month, and your investment is like 10% or 20% of that. Does that make sense? So don't be so quick to fall for the government schemes where you sign up to school, sign up to university, all that bullshit. It's a scam. It's, in my opinion, the world's biggest scam that we aren't aware of. And that's why a lot of you guys are so comfortable in your 9-to-5 job, because even though bills are high, even though things are hard, you're comfortable, you're lazy, you go to work, you come home, it's a routine. You haven't got the intuition to sort of break out of that and to say, you know what, I can earn so much money, my time is literally being wasted. Being a 9-to-5 worker essentially means you're a slave to the system. Now, I don't care how much you love your job, I don't care about any of that, right? Yes, there are some jobs that are important, like being a doctor, all that kind of stuff. But generally, like most of you people that are watching this video, you're working a 9-to-5 job for some corporate company who pay you like $2,000, $3,000 a month, and you work 40 hours a week for $2,000, $3,000 a month. And I'll give you guys an example, right? I made 8 YouTube videos and I made $8,000 from those 8 YouTube videos, and each video took me 2 hours. So I spent 16 hours making $8,000, and you guys are spending 40 hours a week making $2,000 or $3,000. This is the difference, right? And this is what's holding you guys back. Only difference is I took action outside of my 9-to-5, whereas you guys are taking action in your 9-to-5, and you're not trying to make a business, you're not trying to work on a side hustle because it's too hard for you, it's long, all of that kind of stuff. Stop working your 9-to-5 job. And the only way you can do that is by starting an online business. I don't care what you choose, right? Even if you don't choose a coaching program, which in my opinion is the best thing that you can do. But even if you choose drop shipping, even if you choose YouTube, even if you choose anything really, choose something and stick with it. And again, if you need my help, you can either click the link in the description and book in a call with me, or you can DM me on Instagram. But either way, don't just watch this video and do nothing. Take action and you won't have to work for someone again.